kind of focus on is the actual situation. So I don't want to go too deep into it because there's too much swearing and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of annoying. And I really don't want to be doing that. But I'll try and we'll try and play a little bit of this as well. Okay. I won't play the whole thing. I'll play a little bit at the beginning of it so you can get an understanding. But okay, let's go.
And regardless of what people say, I believe he deserves whatever he feels he's worthy of. So, whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. I had a second degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I'm gonna say just
Hello?
say no. I'm gonna say no
Hello?
for all of
Is
us.
everybody fucking
I'm just gonna
listening?
say no.
Hello?
Yeah, you
A second degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I mean, that boy was that big when you had him.
He was, I think it was 8.1.5.
That means she had a big baby.
Almost 9 pounds, right?
Another NBA player.
Does that matter to you? Does that matter to you? Who had such a motherfucking opinion about me?
Wait,
Does that
time out.
matter?
It grew.
Hold
My
on.
opinion changed.
Hold
But
on. Answer the motherfucking question.
no, it didn't initially. No, hell.
Okay, I had a second degree tear. That means they sewed me up.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You know what that means? That means I love that motherfucker. My pussy was fucking split open for him.
Right.
You understand that? You lost 9 pounds. Okay.
Gratefully, I had a 5-pound baby.
Now, what's really interesting is she describes and says, that's how you know I loved PJ Washington. The question is, does she know what love really looks like? That's the question. The question is, does she know what love really looks like? Because what she described and said, well, I had a kid for him, and I was torn down there. Now, that can be an aspect of love, but is that love? Now, that may be your way of understanding the love and thinking that you loved him. But if you were showing other behaviors that were not loving, the person will not consider what you did there as love. Irrespective of how big the magnitude of that grandeur of an act is, which is having a child. By the way, we're never going to downplay having a child here. Having a child is life or death in a lot of cases, right? So we're not going to ever downplay it, and we appreciate her motherhood in bringing that child into the world, because you can lose your life. But it does not guarantee or does not speak necessarily to the fact that at least what other actions you might be showing that person, that you love that person. I just had to remember the fact that he was 22, 21 when she met him at 28, 27. She had at least 6 to 7 years on him. He was a young boy still trying to grasp the aspect of life. Amygdala hadn't even fully grown. Yeah. So this is somebody who was very young, and you were older, and you were telling us, and here's the part I have to hold her accountable. She's a bit of a predator. Let me not even say that. A bit of a predator sounds nice. She's a predator. She hunted. Right? She hunted for this young man. Okay. She hunted for this young man and went for him. Young man, boy, call it what you want, man. All right. But when she went for him, she's at least 6, 7 years difference between the two of them. And she was telling us she was willing to go to college games to see someone. That's actually how they met in the first place. So we're not going to downplay the fact that you were instrumental in you going to predatorily catch this young boy or young man at the time. Right? So you had now turned into this predator to go and hunt for your basketball player. Bear in mind, you've done videos talking about how you can trap people who are basketball players or sportsmen, how easy it is to trap them. Now, if you tell me a story about how easy it is to trap them, that you can easily trap them, when you finally get that basketball player who you got when he was young, he wasn't even the same age, right? When you go and trap that young person, right? And they're in college, etc., right? And you go and get them. You've been watching their games, etc., etc., right? and then you end up pregnant for him, do you think he's going to see that as love now? Or is he going to see it? And I'm sure people were telling PJ Washington, yo, she's out to get the bag, she's out to get this, she's out to get that. Suddenly, when you have a child, everything that they were saying is now going to make sense. He's not going to see you as somebody who loves him. He's going to see you as somebody who was a predator. So whilst you may be feeling like you may have loved him, you cared about him, you may not be looking at it from a different perspective. My key question is, does she actually fully grasp and understand what love looks like? Do you get what I'm saying to you? Does she fully understand, or does she fully grasp how it looks like? And so, whilst I understand there's anger here, there's frustration, there's pain here, this isn't all for PJ Washington. It's for your daddy. That anger and frustration you're feeling, it's not all for PJ Washington. It's not all for the men in that room. It's for your daddy. Because you're still hurt from what he didn't do. You're still hurt from what he didn't do for you. And now the room is getting the fullness of that. And because you weren't protected by your father, attack is the best form of defense. We're now using our anger as a way of protruding out to the people around her, don't mess with me.
Good for you.
Yeah,
My baby was almost 9 pounds.
Big boy.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. All right?
No, I wanted to say that because I think it is important. A lot of people do
What's important?
that. You do wish well for him.
Most.
Here's the thing. Let me just tell you, you and every one of the motherfuckers that are commenting, she's doing too much. She at the end of the day, this pussy had a 2nd-degree tear. Do you know what that means?
You just taught us.
Ripped.
What is it?
Ripped.
Thank you, Charleston.
Ripped open.
Ripped.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, boy had a head like his daddy.
Damn.
Yeah. Boy had a head like his daddy.
All right.
Hold on.
So, a ripped fucking vagina. Let me hold on.
Say it again. Say it again. For the people in the back.
Let me tell you something. 50 pounds. Do you hear what I'm saying?
That boy born 50 pounds.
No, you gained.
I gained 50 pounds.
Oh shit.
Charleston, 50 pounds. That's just somebody, I'm just whatever. I can't be bought.
Hello.
That's what all these people in the chat can't seem to understand. They think I can be bought. They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I believe in true love.
Hello.
I heard her say that. But you
I
know,
said
we
it
do that.
100 fucking times.
Now, of course, she said